Got it. All right. So as usual, please, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I'm actively looking at the comment section, so I should be able to reply you guys. All right. So I've explained what market analysis. I'll just do a brief pulling back to some of the things we've learned. I've explained what market analysis looks like. For this module, that means today is the last day of the week. Next week you'll be meeting another tutor. If you're lucky, you'll be meeting me. All right, so you'll be meeting another instructor next week. But you have an assignment to submit to that instructor, and one of that assignment is to do your market analysis for the idea that you have pushed out. If you remember, my idea was a logistics app for dining enthusiasts or people that love to go and eat outside. So I did my analysis and gave like a summary of what the market looks like. So I'll just be going through some of those things so that you understand what is expected when you're having. My summary is mostly what the conversation would look like when you have it with stakeholders. So for my market analysis, I came up with the fact that the market includes people. I decided to start with Kwara State, people in Kwara State, a state first that includes both urban and suburban area. Then I would not focus on the rural area because obviously most of them don't have mobile phones or electricities or amenities based on my research. So I would be focusing on places that are a bit popular, the suburban areas and the urban areas. And I'll make sure that my segment is probably centered in places where there are restaurants already, because that's where I could be able to understand that, oh, okay, these people like to eat. Because if they don't like to eat, the restaurants will not be thriving. So it will be an environment where there's a lot of restaurants. Based on my research, it will probably be a place like Ilorin or Far, you might not know these places, but yeah, those are a few places in Kwara that has population of dining areas and the likes. And these people would probably be young professionals, students, or busy individuals seeking for convenience in dining experience. People who probably cannot sit down to cook because of their busy schedules, bankers and the likes. Based on Ilorin demography, Kwara demography rather, Ilorin is a place where there's universities. You have FASTU, you have University of Ilorin, you have about 3 or 4 private universities. Overall, between Ofar and Ilorin in Kwara State, we had about 7 or 8 universities. We have about 6 polytechnics or 5 polytechnics. We have a lot of banks. So we have good number of people who probably won't have time to cook because they are busy with figuring out life. So yeah, these people probably love to either buy food outside or go out to eat. And that is my market analysis. And these people actually make fair income. That means either they get money from their parents or they already have plans of how to spend this money, or their work actually covers for this food and all. So what is the market size like? What is the market size like? As I said, I'll be focusing on the urban cities. Like I said, cities like Ilorin, based on research and local insights, it is estimated that the market for on-demand demand in Kwara State is rapidly growing. Like I said, I realized that there are schools, bankers, and people who literally go to work. Even your regular real estate moguls in Kwara State, based on my research, they resume work by 6 or 7 and go back home maybe around 6 or 7 as well. So they really don't have, there is this large gap between the day where they're able to actually actively get food to eat.
That's the product development. There you design, manufacture, now you test out.
So yeah, that's basically my market sizing. I didn't include numbers because as at the time I made this, I people were still filling the Google form that I sent out. So I didn't want to include the fake number, but I could include it later before your assignment. All right, so I tried making a competitive analysis, and I realized that some of the restaurants have their own courier services. There are delivery platforms in Ilorin as well that pick up food and deliver it to people. However, what would my unique? Again, this is summary of my SWOT analysis, which we learned in the previous class. However, my unique value proposition is that people that are eating out can actually make money from eating out, and people that are sending you to get the food for them could spend less than they would have spent if they were to get a delivery person. Most of the people told me in the feedback that I got from the Google form that when they want to order food, they have a bike man. They just call the bike man, come to my place. They give the bike man cash. Some of them transfer to the bike man and say, go to the restaurants, get me the food. Then when you get the food, deliver it to my place. So the bike man collects money on the cost to take the bike man to move from where he is to the location of the restaurant. Then the cost to take him to move the food from the restaurants to your house. That's double cost. Or if somebody who is going there normally is already in the restaurant trying to eat and paying just delivering on his way home, he's probably going to be spending less to deliver the food from you and charging you less. So basically, that is our main value proposition, that our customers are able to earn while they are eating and also able to pay less while they are buying. So that's our competitive edge. And obviously, we'll be partnering with restaurants to give discounts and coupons on days that we are going to be doing a bit of free delivery or some other things. I mean, you can imagine as many possibilities as possible. So thinking of customer segmentations, I actually did age demography based on age, occupation, and all that. You will see it when we get to PRDs. I have a PRD that is set for this class already that we could use for this class. Some of you might end up giving it half for that. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to criticism. So yeah, we do the segmentation. Who are my customers? What kind of customers are there? They are professionals. Okay, do they do part-time job? What's their income like? Etc. etc. How frequent do they dine in? That's what the customer segmentation is about. So if I'm talking about it with stakeholders, these are the things that will bring up with them. Market entry and expansion strategies. I'm saying, oh, okay, we want to start with a few local restaurants in Kwara State. Then we are hoping to expand to other cities like Lagos, Port Harcourt, maybe in the future expand to other countries. So that's the basic idea behind the market entry and expansion strategy. That's the strategies we have in summary. Yes, obviously, there are more in-depth analysis that I would have given if we were to be in a meeting discussing this particular entry. For example, how do we start in Kwara State? Yes, we know you are starting in Kwara State, but how do we start? Even in Ilorin, you have said, okay, we are starting with two local governments in Kwara State, Ilorin and Offa. So how do we really start in Ilorin and Offa? Okay, I've been able to do my research and realize that Tanke is a student area. Malete is also a student area in Kwara State. So, but these two places have a lot of students involved, and there are a lot of banking areas around that area. So how do we ensure that our marketing strategy is mostly centered in that area? You are spending a lot of marketing to people in that area, so you can have a campus ambassador program, etc., etc. And that's why you are doing this market entry and expansion strategy, so that you will know exactly what you are paying on. For example, if I am pushing this app to mobile app and I'm thinking of marketing, I will not carry money and go and invest in Brother Ninja, because it will be, please, the person that is not muted, can you please mute yourself? Thank you, Oyedamola. So yeah, basically you'll be able to look directly into it and be intentional about your marketing. Don't worry, very soon I'll be talking about how funds are being disseminated in the company. But yeah, the product manager has a very vital role to play. Yes, you have a marketing manager or a communication specialist who handles your marketing. But even at that, they still ask you. They ask you for your product uh, opinion, basically. And in such particular scenario, this is what helps you to be able to have a solid opinion, your market entry and expansion strategies. So you're able to say, why do I want to pay money to advertise on Big Brother Nigeria when I could actually, when my major market is in Kwara State? That would be waste of money. Why not just invest? See, there are schools. I'm planning to start with schools and bank. Why not invest in ambassadorship program where you bring in students to make a few money? I mean, advertise the program to students who, I mean, this is an idea. I'm saying that people are making money. Students probably want to make that passive income. Let them be the ones to start. Yes, they don't have a car, they don't have a bicycle, they don't have that. But I mean, imagine a world where I could actually get points when I deliver a food, aside from the money that I am getting for that delivery. And that point could actually be converted. And when I'm hungry one day, I could use the point to buy food as a student. A lot of marketing strategy that you can come up with if you know exactly your market entry. If the product you are selling does not include students, then probably you want to think of another marketing strategy that will work for them. So basically, the reason why you are doing the market entry and expansion strategy is not just for you as a product manager, but for other teams in your company to be able to make the right decision, basically. Also, you have to consider the regulatory and legal consideration. What is Nigerian rule saying about this particular product you want to build? And all. I didn't emphasize on that mostly because that would require me speaking with the legal person and all that. But yeah, I put I'm expecting that when you're giving this assignment as well, if you have a legal friend or if you are lucky to be a student, you have some people in the legal aid clinic that you can just go. I remember my university, we had a legal aid clinic that was free for students. Also, this is one of the interesting parts. We don't know the importance of things until we leave that particular space. If you are in university at the moment, please take full advantage of some of these free things that you have. You have a legal aid clinic. I have friends that started up their startup while they were in school, and they are doing amazingly well. You don't have to pay for your legal. You don't have to pay for some things because those students are willing to do it for free. And yeah, at that point, because you don't have money, you're able to build your product very, very well. And by the time you have money, you pick persons that make it really bright and you bring them on board fully to start paying them. So basically, what am I trying to say in essence? If you have legal friends that are probably doing their LLB, reach out to them. If they have a legal aid, meet someone that is into corporate law and ask them about this law, these stuffs, basically. If there are any rules in the country that you should be aware of that would affect the products you are building at the moment. All right, that being said, yeah, thank you. That being said, you also have to think about the pricing and monetization. I said something the last class. If you are building a product that you can't make money from, then you will have problem. Facebook is free for a lot of people, but people are paying for Facebook. I know a lot of you feel like WhatsApp is also free, but my dear, there is the paid version of WhatsApp. If you research deeply, you see, like I said, my entire company, what we build is we build social solutions for people, and there are people that are paying monthly to use WhatsApp, to be able to use and leverage on the beautiful things that WhatsApp has to offer. Yesterday there was this launch. Sorry, I'm just digressing. There was this launch in India where WhatsApp now allows you to actually book your flight on your WhatsApp. Right there inside WhatsApp, you can book flights, even do more. select your particular, for those of us that have gone, that have taken flight before. For me, I dread not sitting by that side of the window because I love to see the scenery. But for those of us that are like that, we hate sitting at that side, that walkway side where um they are pulling the trolley. You are not comfortable with the guys. Maybe you are like me, you are not comfortable with them passing things across your side. So you want to sit at that edge of the plane. You want to select that particular seat. Um, some people pay, I mean, during Africa, you have to pay an extra to select a specific seat if you don't want them to give you a random seat. This is now available via WhatsApp. You're not going outside WhatsApp. Inside WhatsApp, you select your seat, you select if you want to be, if it's executive or it's VIP, you select it and you pay money right there inside WhatsApp. No browser needed, nothing. If you have Apple Pay or Google Pay, you can use that as well inside your WhatsApp. I mean, these are the things that you have to consider. So if you pay, how much does Apple Pay charge? Do we want to give it to the customers? If people are using I'll get there very soon. If you are using a third-party system like Kuda started with, they didn't build their infrastructure from scratch. They were using a third party, but bearing the cost of transfers for customers. Because on every transfer, they're actually paying an amount of money, but they are paying it on behalf of the customer because they feel like, yeah, they can pay it. So you want to make all those strategies and all those decisions while you are starting off the business. Then you think of your risk assessment. What are the possible things that could happen, and what are your plans to ensure that when it happens, you are able to target them? So basically, these are the things that you have in your market research, and basically all you need to know so that in case anybody in the company is asking you, oh, what do you want to do with this? What do you want to do with that? You are able to give a specific and definite answers to that. So yeah, also that I think I explained product vision as well and what you need to look out for. Also, I told you yesterday when we're doing the class, I said you have to understand your use cases. Make sure that everything you have that entire journey in your head and you document it. For example, in the case of my application, again, for those of you that probably have not reviewed my documents, this is what my solution is about. Customer A, let's say, let me use people on the call for it to be more interesting. I'm seeing Chioma and I'm seeing Fatima. Yes. Let's say Fatima is a foodie, for example. Please don't smile where you are. Let's say Fatima is a foodie. Exactly. Let's say Fatima is a foodie. She likes to eat a lot. She likes to eat out. She likes to try out restaurants. I mean, that's beautiful. Now Fatima could make money with my app. And let's assume that Chioma is an introvert. She doesn't like going out. She likes staying in her room. She likes spending money. She's what Nigerian ladies call themselves these days. She likes being pampered. She's a baby person. She stays inside the house and orders her food and just press some buttons, and they bring the food. And she's calling the estate security. Hello, somebody's coming, and let them bring the food in and all that. Now we have two different people. Fatima loves to go physically. It's a baby girl treatment. Thank you, Patricia. So Fatima loves to buy food. She likes to go around, snap pictures, and all that. So while she's going around, she went out to buy. This is the case. This is use case. She went out to buy rice at Kilimanjaro. And when she got to Kilimanjaro, she bought fried rice and jollof rice. And while she's buying, she opens my app or the app that I'm planning on building, opens it and check if there's anybody. Because initially when she was signing up, she had included her house address, her accommodation, like maybe not exact, but like a place where she lives, her region. She has included it in the app. So while she's there at the restaurant eating, she opens the app to see if there's anybody that wants to buy from that exact branch, that exact restaurant and branch. And she's seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, I want somebody to buy me Maggi, I want pounded yam, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want spaghetti, bolognese, or whatever it is they call it." Um, and she's seeing all this order, just like both drivers sees a lot of people requesting for rides. And when she sees this order, she's like, "Oh, I can't carry this, it's too heavy. I can't carry this, it's too heavy. I can carry this, I can carry this." You know how ladies do. And yeah, she finally sees someone that wants to buy just ice cream. She's like, "Wow, yes, I can carry ice cream." So I'll buy ice cream for the person. And then on that app, she accepted the person and tells the person, "I will charge," although the app will create, the app will tell you, okay, you're supposed to charge maybe 500 for this order. But you decide, "Oh, I don't want to charge 500, I'll charge 600. And you select 600. Maybe the customer said, "I can pay 500. You say, "No, I'll collect 600. If customer says, "Yes, okay, no, I'll just bring it for me." Boom, you accept. While you are on your way out, you've bought your own food, you've done everything. While you're on your way out, you collect the ice cream on behalf of this person and go to the person's, the person's house is on the way to your house. You branch the person's house, deliver to the person. The person puts a thumb up on the app that, "Yes, I've collected this food," and the money is released to you. That is the approach we are trying to sell on my own app. Now, from the user's perspective, I'm trying to explain the use cases, the dangers, or the edge cases, so to say, and your mitigation plan. From the use cases as a customer, by customer, I mean the person that wants to buy the food. The user can browse nearby restaurants and place an order for themselves. The user can track the status of their order and receive real-time updates. The user can make secure payment through the app. Probably there will be a wallet system. Actually, I included a wallet system as a feature for those of us that read through it. The user can provide rating and reviews for restaurants and delivery persons. They can say, "Please don't buy in this restaurant. This person is an evil person. Anytime they buy you, don't send this person to buy ice cream. Because if they buy your ice cream, half of the ice cream would have spilled before they get home." You can put that review up so that people that are trying to buy ice cream tomorrow would see the review for this person on ice cream and all that. The user can view the order histories and any if they have also acted as a delivery person. So it's a two-way thing. You can also deliver for people on the days that you are happy and you go out. So yeah, for the delivery person, the user can accept order from nearby customers and deliver to them. The user can view order details and navigate to customer location. Sorry. Okay, yes. Please hold that thought, Musa. I would answer that question shortly. So the user can view order details, the user can communicate with the customer, the user can blah, 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 blah. Now, what are the edge cases? What are the problems that I foresee happening? Number one, customer unavailability. Assume that you have ordered what you need to do and you get to the customer's delivery location and the customer is not picking up or they are not doing so. What do you do? What do you do? I put down there that implement a system to handle cases where a customer is not available to receive the order, such as allowing the delivery person to wait for a specific period or providing alternate delivery option. For me, I've said it that in such a case, we'll allow on this particular app, if you see my PROD, I added it in the acceptance criteria. Allow the driver to be able to, let me not talk about it so that you guys can do your math in your head, especially as we are talking. I love when people are able to join you in the thought process. So I won't tell you the exact solution I came up with. So incorrect delivery address. What if the person was at their friend's place and all of a sudden they are now at their own place and they are feeling like, okay, when the person gets there, I'll just tell the person to bring it to my house. Nigerians can be nonchalant. If you met Nigerians, you will know. Sorry, I know we have other people from other countries here. I've known a lot of Nigerians, aside from Nigerians, maybe Ghanaians. I think I have a Kenyan friend and maybe a Saudi Arabian friend. So, but either way, I've met with a lot of Nigerians. So apologies if I'm using Nigerians as an example. But yeah, that could happen anywhere in the world where, let's assume I went to greet my friends when I ordered the food and now I had to rush to my house instead of me to cancel the order, or I can't cancel the order again because the person already bought the food. And I feel like, "Oh, when he gets there, I'll just tell the person I'll pay him an extra to bring the money and all that." And the person doesn't want the extra because, I mean, it's not a delivery person. It just felt like making the extra money. So in such case, at that point, I'm allowing the person to be able to charge you extra. I'm allowing the person, I said I won't tell you what. I won't tell you. All right, so we have order cancellation. At what point can a product can be a order? Am I the only one thinking this is a lot? Yes, as a product manager, you do a lot of thinking. But yeah, back to work. So order cancellation, you're able to cancel the order. When exactly can you cancel the order? As a product manager, you have to think about it. Because if you allow the customer, for example, that unique example I gave, the person that ordered the food was in location A, and by the time they were about to deliver the food, they had moved to location C. And when you got to the house, said, sorry, I'm looking for Peace. I said, oh, Peace is my friend, but she's not in her house. And her house is like ×3 of even the amounts that you charge her. And she called Peace, and Peace said, oh, can you bring it to my house, please? I had to rush. And you're like, Peace, I'm sorry, I'm not a delivery guy. Should I keep it with your friend and move on with my life? You have not given away for your friend. Say, no, I want you to bring it to my house. And you told Peace, okay, I'm going to charge ×3. Would you approve on the app so that I can bring it for you? And Peace is saying, no, no, no. I'm only going to give you the amount that we agreed on, and that's fine now. What happens? And the person wants to cancel the order. How do you handle this as a product manager? So it's very important that you think of the problem before it happens. If not, your customers will be unhappy. Go to Play Store, see some apps, and you see a lot of comments. I do that a lot of time. I'm sorry. As a product manager, you should do that as well because your product is going to be criticized. So it's better you look at other people's products earlier so that you understand why they have to make that mistake. I look at some products and I look at the comment section and I'm like, why? Why? These things could have been ignored or avoided if you had done your proper research. So basically, these are the things that you have to think about during the development. Quick question. This girly voice you are doing. Sorry, Fatima. I'm just trying to be dramatic with the whole thing. I know we have limited amount of time, so I'm trying to be fast as possible because I want us to finish this module. Dandy, please, I didn't forget your question. Please remind me at the end. Also, if we are a bit above the time, I hope that some of you will still please wait a bit for me so that I will complete this and we don't have to speak over. So yeah, what are the possible dangers that could happen to the app? Some people having unauthorized access to user information. That is somebody hacking our system. Inaccurate order. Maybe somebody said they want to buy moi moi and moi moi does not exist, or they want 5 moi moi, and on the app it clearly states that there's only 4 moi moi available. On all those scenarios, delivery safety. What about if the person is a kidnapper and is looking for, he decides to use the app to get his victim? I mean, these are a lot of things that we have to consider. So basically, those are the dangers. Then what is the business case? The business case, how do we make money? How do we make money? So yes, revenue generation, you have to think about it. Expansion and market penetration, you have to think about it. These are mostly marketing ideas. But again, if you are lucky to work with I love to use the word lucky again, like I explained yesterday, that I'm always excited when I get to work to do things outside the scope of my work because it helps me understand when I finally get to work with someone in that. I know exactly what they are doing part-time. So yeah, partnership opportunity. Yet this might be a marketing approach to the work, but as a product manager, you might have insights to give to them as well in the organization. You have the advertisements and promotion, data analytics, etc., etc. So yeah, those are the things you have to consider at that point as well. Yes, when you're setting your use case, edge cases, and all that. All right, so there's something we call build, buy, and partner strategy. I will just skim through this and explain because of time. Yes, please fill your attendance if you're on the call. So there's build, buy, partner strategy. And I will explain why this is very important to you as a product manager. There are some drama that you don't need to go through. For example, you want to build a payment system. For example, you want to build a banking app. I feel like you don't need to build the entire Flutterwave again because Flutterwave already exists. So all you have to do is just partner with them, use their API, and build on that. That's what we call partner. Build is you are building some things from scratch because probably there is no alternative for it. There's no existing system you can just plug into. And for example, now there is a lot of packages online for video call feature. All I have to do is just do npm install, or sorry, I'm being technical. All I have to do is just download that package, tell my developers use this package instead of building it from scratch. And that's why we have JavaScript libraries, so that you don't have to do the whole building from scratch. So when you think about that, it will save you a lot of development plan. And that's why we have a lot of no code tools as well. You don't have to write codes to build some solutions. I'm hoping that if we have enough time, I might actually mention some of those things in the last class. The tutor that is coming is an amazing and brilliant young man. So yeah, that is the idea behind build, partner, and buy strategy. And for buy strategy, a very good example is WhatsApp. Facebook wanted to do something incredible. They wanted to build a solution that didn't have the distraction of what Facebook have. You know, Facebook is mostly about posts. So most people don't chat in Facebook. For me, when I go to Facebook, I just go there, go and look at, okay, what are my friends doing in their life? Is there any new thing I should know about? So yeah, that's the main attraction. The chat is just like an added advantage. So they wanted to build something that had chat as a main attraction. So they felt like instead of building something like that, why not just buy an existing system? Hence the reason why they bought WhatsApp. So again, as a company, you don't need to start afresh. Just buy an existing system and move on. Another good example is Swipe. Swipe wanted to dive into the Nigeria ecosystem. So they felt like instead of building a product for Nigerians, why not just buy an existing product in Nigeria? And they bought Paystack. So again, you as a product manager, when they come to you and say, hello, I have money and I want to build this solution, you think about it. This solution already exists. Is there something we can do better? Do we need to do better? Do we need to do that thing better? The existing solution is it open for sale? If it's open for sale, just buy it. And is it good enough? For example, if Paystack was not good enough, Swipe might not have bought them. But they bought them because they were actually good. They were very good. They were scalable. In fact, the entire was that they structured the whole of Paystack to look like Stripe. So they were already anticipating that they will be bought one day. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, have that idea. More like how an acquisition works for bricks and mortar business. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So yeah, so understand when to buy, understand when to build, and understand when to partner. Because at the end of the day, it boils down to you. They will ask you, how long could we do this? And at that point, you are telling them, we don't need to build this. A solution already exists. Let's just plug into them. For example, my company does this. I feel like I say, yeah, we need to allow our customer to be able to manage their delivery process. I'm like, why not? Why should we build and collect license and now start having motorcycles that will be delivering and delivery guys? That is another extra. You have to start paying delivery guys and all that when a delivery company already exists. All we have to do is just link into their API and send orders to them. They send us webhook request response that yes, this order is en route. The customer has collected the order is delivered. The customer can even give review. They will hand over that review to us, and we can use it to do anything we want in our system without paying a dime. And we can even allow the customer to pay for that service. That way, we are reducing the cost of employing engineers. We are reducing a lot of things. So as a product manager, it is very important for you to understand this build, buy, and partner strategies. You need to know when to buy, when to build, and when to partner. Yes, P&L statement. I will skim through this as well. I'm hoping I'll send this. I don't want to send it, but I will send this to the channel so that we can use this to learn. Okay, that's your second question. I'm coming to this after class, Musa Danlaji. All right, so profit and loss statement is none of your concern actually, but sometimes again, if you happen to be in a company, a startup that I worked in a startup of like 7 people before. We're just 7 in the entire company. You will Oyindamola, you said you asked a question. Don't worry, please help me keep all this question. I will look through it at the end of the class. So yeah, you are lucky to work in a startup of about 7 people or even 5 people. You might have to do this. So profit and loss statement is basically you projecting. It's like a projection of how much your fees will be, like how much your commission will be, what you'll be spending on advertising, how much you'll be spending on development, and all that basically. So that's basically what profit and loss. You can look through this, see a few of calculation I did. I just did an example of what it will look like. Time might not permit us to look into it in detail, but yes, feel free, play around it and understand how it works so that you can know from even before you start making money, you can know how much your return on investment as a company would look like, and you can know what to cut down on. You can know in advance if you need to sponsor Big Brother Naija, so that you won't go and fall into a mess like Abeg did earlier. Sorry to use that word mess. If a family member of Abeg is here, but I know that Abeg had to. I think they declared bankruptcy. I can't remember the full gist, but I know they spent a lot of money on Abeg and on Big Brother Naija, and at the end of the day, they couldn't sustain. They had to rebrand. So at the end of the day, it's important to do that projection earlier so that you know what to. They ran backwards. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, you know what to spend on and what not to spend on. For example, you notice that I already put development cost, the one time, what you spend one time, operational cost and all that, times 12 months. You know how much is on your pipe, your runway, call it runway. How much exactly you have in the company, how much you have to pay staffs for this and that and all that. Again, it might not fall on your purview, but yeah, that's what it works on. So what your execute commit process. This involves the step and activities required to successfully launch and deploy the logistics app. So in this particular place, for me, this is my process. This is what I actually listed out. That what I feel like I should. Sorry, can you hear me? If you guys can hear me, please signify. Okay, thank you. All right. So, like I said, let's use timeline development as an example. I said define a clear timeline with specific milestone and deliverables for the execution of the logistic app. Break down the development process into phases or sprints to track process and ensure timely completion. Consider dependencies, critical path activities, and manage risk and mitigation delays. So basically, most times, not all ideas for product owners make sense or are so visible. As a product owner, sir, what? Hey God, I will read the questions after because time is not on our side. But yeah, I will read the questions and answer as many as possible. So yeah, I highlighted this so that stakeholder management, that means how do I go about that? Timeline development, how do I go about that? Development and testing, what is my approach to it? Marketing and launch, what is the approach to it? Development and operation, what is the approach to it? Evaluation and iteration, what is the approach to it? So these are just my own approach. Again, this is probably not online or anywhere. It's just me sitting down and saying, okay, I want to build this app as a product manager. what are the things I should look out for, and I highlighted some of the things I need to do to ensure that I am successful at it. That's why I call it execute commit process. It is my own process. If I will, this is what I want to commit to doing and ensure that it helps me succeed at the end of the day. Now, product roadmap. This will still be discussed in the next week, but I'll just give you a brief overview in case time does not permit us. Roadmap is basically what you need to do in timelines. What you need to do in timelines. So you want to attendance. Please let me resend the attendance. What you need to do in timeline. For me, I used to break my roadmap into 4 stages. So that means I have 3 month roadmap every year. So from January, February, March, that will be Q1, first quarter of the year. April, May, June. Q2, second quarter of the year. July, August, September. Q3, third quarter of the year. October, November, December. Q4, fourth quarter of the year. And I think that's what most companies do. But some companies are only 3. That means some companies break it down into 4 months. So you have just Q3. So depending on whichever one you decide to go with, or depending on the ones that your company decides to go with, depending on what your funding circle looks like. That means when your investor is asking for answers, what you're expected to deliver per time. Because when investors give you money, they give you KPIs. They tell you they want the money they've given you to have increased to this by this time. So you have to think about an idea that would help the company, the money to increase. So depending on what that is, you should be able to actually plan your roadmap. So you put things that you need to do within those times on your roadmap. For example, app development and launch preparation is what I want to do in the first 3 months. So I'll break it down into bigger, like more vague approach. So I say develop the core functionality of the logistics app, including specifying user registration, restaurant listing, order placement, and payment integration. Every other thing will come later. So within these 3 months, I am focusing on this for development. Now, conduct thorough testing and quality assurance within this period as well. Prepare the app for launch with branding materials and everything. So when you write it down like this, every team can now break out their tasks from here. Marketing break out their tasks. Engineering break out their tasks. So every one of them can now have their own unique roadmap. But at the end of the day, the company as a whole has a roadmap they are going with. So everybody can now build in their own internal tasks within the marketing team, internal tasks within the product team, internal tasks within the, for example, the product team, you still need to break this development of features. You need to break it down into user stories. You need to break it down into sprints. Yes, you know what you want to build, but you need to break down what you want to do for the first week, second week, who will do it, and all that, and all that. The roadmap is like the bird eye view, the larger thing, the larger table when you think about it. That's what roadmap is. This is an example of the roadmap for this. Then, yes, I don't want to rush this. So feature prioritization is a very important topic. As a matter of fact, a lot of product managers have issues in this particular scenario. And it's the last thing we'll be discussing. I'll just summarize it this way. It basically means that somebody commented the other time and said, this is a lot. This is a lot means, this app is a lot. So that means there's a lot of features in the app that needs to be developed. However, how do I prioritize it? Which one should I pick first? Which one should I pick later? What exactly determines which one I pick first and which one I pick later? So there are a few frameworks that you can use for this. One of the most popular one is the RISE framework. The RISE framework is very popular, very, very, very popular, because of its uniqueness. So right framework is built on you identifying the reach of your feature, what impact the feature will have, what's your confidence level that you'll be able to finish it in the timeline that you have, and what is the effort required to put into that feature. So you have number one, again, let me go over it again. Number one, the reach. How many users will be able to use this? Number two, for example, you remember I told you about acquisition and conversion. So if you are building a feature, will this feature be a main feature, or is a feature that that people can decide not to use? So if it's a feature that people can decide to use, how many of if you have 2,000 customers, how many of these 2,000 customers would be able to use it? Do you understand? That's the reach. Now, for confidence level, will I be able to finish this in 2 weeks? Investor says, put this app out in 2 weeks. Your business team is saying, the customers need it in 2 weeks. The customers are saying, I need it in 3 days. Would you be able to push that app, that solution app, if you start doing it now in 3 days? That is your confidence level. Now, the next one is your effort. What effort is required to get it done? Do I have 3 engineers on the team? Do I need all the 3 engineers to work on this? If I need the 3 engineers to work on this, are there other things they need to do? Now you consider that particular effort. Then finally, sorry, I skipped one. Impact. What? How does this impact the product vision? And the OKRs, like you said, your objectives, your key results. How does it affect it as a company? What is your OKRs? What are your KPIs? How does it affect it? What's the impact it has on that? So again, based on my own app, I have been able to highlight my features. I've been able to highlight my features and put like the right score for each of them. Now, each of both again, like I said, this course is meant to give you like an overview. So I would want intentionally, I did not put the calculation for the high, medium, and small. But I want you guys to go home and do the to learn more about this RISE framework. However, for all the features you highlight, user registration is very high. The impact is very high. Are we confident? Yes, very high. What effort will be required? Minimum effort. Now, when you do that, you do your calculation and realize that you have 60, 60, 60. Now, based on this score, you notice I have 120, I have 60, I have 40. Some features I have 40, I have 20. Now, this will tell you which you should do first and which you should not do, which you should do later, basically. That's how RISE framework works. I personally love to use this RISE, but again, it requires a lot of research. So yeah, it's something you should try to use or jump on if you love it. Another frameworks that I'm in love with is the Moscow rather. Moscow is the most popular because it doesn't require much calculation. So as product manager, we are lazy when it comes to that. So I use the word we. So yeah, people use Moscow because it's just straightforward. What are the must have, should have, could have, and won't have? In most cases, this particular decision is made by people in the organization and your customers. You do like a feedback thingy where you ask them on a scale of this or that, what is between this feature, which one would you have? Do you understand? More like you're doing like getting a feedback from stakeholders and your users. Well, your user is also stakeholders. So based on that feedback, you're able to now differentiate your features into what you must have, what you should have, what maybe you could have, and what you would not have per time. Do you understand? So that is how Moscow works. You can read more about it as well. Kano is also another it's also another one that is very unique. However, the difference between Kano and rice is that for Kano, it has is a more psychological. It's more psychological than it is of critical. For example, in rice, you have your reach, impact. It's easy to measure, but for Kano, it's very complicated. As you can see, I did not feed it intentionally because it was really, really messing up my head that day. You have a must have based on the review you've gotten. Now, one directional means that this particular product will probably not convert. It will not convert. Or this particular product is a one-way trip. It's not going to convert other customers to this. So is this something I want to do? So you put on a rate, very, very one directional, medium one directional, or whatever it is. Then is it attractive to the customer? Like I said, this is more of a psychological approach, deciding what you want to do. But then it can be very effective in a space where everybody already knows what the app should have, especially like a fintech solution. So yeah, if it's something you want to jump on, yeah, Kano is an approach you can use. So those are just a few ones that I've noted out. I'm sorry we have to spend extra time. Those are the ones I've noted out. Again, there's a lot of things to learn in products. I didn't get the opportunity to have someone that is probably coaching me when I started. So I learned from a lot of places. I was just taking as many courses as possible. I learned for a whole year before I got my course lead. So yeah, I was just picking up as much as possible. And I can tell you for sure, there's so much to learn when it comes to product. And the more you know, the better you can be as a product manager. So yeah, take time to take courses. I mentioned one yesterday. Product School is an amazing place to get micro certifications. Don't just skip all the courses or watch the videos and sit down taking tea. No, take your pen, take practical approaches. It helps you basically. All right, I think that's the idea. We can continue to 650. It's not. Please no. All right, so I think that's the end of this particular module. If you have any questions, sorry, not if you have any questions. For now, don't ask questions. Don't ask questions for now. Let me answer the questions that are existing. Then we move from them. So the first question is, would this be a B2C or C2C model? For example, I'm guessing you are referring to my example projects that I've been using throughout the course of this course. Hey, God. All right, my example project is actually a C2C. Is a B2C. We are a business. So what B2C means is you are the business, then to customer, business to customer, directly business to customer. Because we are not involving the restaurant in my solution, it is a B2C because both the person delivering the food and the person buying the food, they are both customers. If you look at it critically, when it's a B2C, you have your direct clients are business owners. For example, you are providing API for another company that wants to sell. For example, my company is a B2C, B2B, B2C. We call it some people call it B2B to C. Some call it B2B, B2C. But what it means is we are providing solutions to both the business and their customer. So this is what we do. We build an app that allows the business to actually sell to their customers. So the customers can actually chat their WhatsApp number and make an order. However, we also provide a client portal where the business can actually log into and see information about their orders, accept an order, decline an order, etc., etc. So in the case of my company, we are a B2B and we are also a B2C. So for some people, they call it B2B to C. In some cases, you have B2C to B, where your main customers are the end users. Now, the end users, however, they buy from other people. For example, Jumia. Jumia is B2C to B. The Jumia interface itself is B2C to B, which means they sell directly to the customer. Then the customer, on the other hand, is interfacing with the business unknowingly. Do you understand? I don't know if that makes the explanation easy or other. Hey, sorry.
Yes, it makes sense. Thank you. But why I even said C2C is because of the marketplace. Hello?
What do you say?
Yeah, I said the explanation makes sense, but why I was thinking it was a C2C is because of that marketplace that allows, people to offer, their service to customers, even without the interference of the businesses or the business that's organizing them. So if maybe you an order, somebody can do it for you regardless of whether it's a business or not.
Exactly. I get where you're coming from. But yeah, I hope that you understand that aspect. Let me move to your next question. Am I the only one thinking this is a lot? The answer is a lot. Yeah, I get this a lot. People come to me and say, I want to be a product manager. I want to be a product manager. I don't want stress for my life, my brother, my sister. You are putting in for stress. There's nothing in this world that comes easy, and it takes just do something that works for you. Because either you are a product manager or a software. I hear people say, I'm looking for a role that doesn't require me stressing myself. There's nothing like that. You can either decide to take this role or the other based on what you love to do. I chose this because I love to communicate. I love to interact with people. And I think I'm built to manage people by default. So when I'm in a group of people, out of the blues, I'm able to help everybody do things in order. So yes, that's why I chose this path. And that's why I left being a programmer. I used to be a programmer. I used to do designs as well. I tried a lot of things before I jumped into product. But in all of it, I think one thing was missing. That satisfaction of being among the decision maker was not there. I didn't enjoy my work because I felt like either I liked it or not, they just handed over what they wanted to me rather. And that was not what I wanted, I guess. So it wasn't because it was an easy thing. And I think you should correct that notion if you are here because of that. All right. Is product vision, use cases, edge cases, administration still part of the market research? Yes, my brother, my sister. My sister. Yes, it is. Although most people don't put it, but yeah, it is. For me, if you want to do a detailed market research for me, I want to hear what your use case is, because your use case is basically your result from that market research. You're able to say, oh, okay, this is research we made and realize that this is a problem that exists, and this is how we believe that it can be solved. And while you're talking about how you believe it can be solved, definitely you will talk about how the user is able to interact with that your solution. That's basically what use case means. The girly voice, huh? Sorry, I was just trying to ensure the class is lively. More like our acquisition, yes. Would the build by partner strategy be classified as a product development or a marketing strategy? It is actually a product strategy. But again, we now have product marketing managers. They are also product managers, but in a way, they are tilted towards marketing more. They are even more marketing inclined than the growth product managers. So if you find yourself again, I see a lot of people trying to avoid some things. You might be lucky to find yourself in a company where you're the one doing everything. So please learn it as much as possible. Please. I found myself in a company where my first company was a media agency, basically a blog. That was the first product I built. And I was also part of the development process, which means I actually did the entire WordPress. The first version of their WordPress, I did the entire thing. Then there were two guys that the company brought in as intern. So I had to teach them how to use WordPress, how to make some few code changes with PHP, and for the first year. So after the first year, I handed over the project to them and I focused more on building the business, started working on how to start making money with Google AdSense. And there were also other platform we could make money. Started thinking of how to reach out to Bet Nigeria to come and market on our system so that we can make money. I'm sorry. For those that don't know how blogging works, basically I started. It was just me, those two interns, and the CEO. So basically, there was nobody else to handle the marketing and everything. If you are lucky to be in a product like that, then my dear, now the company has about I think 20 something staffs. So it's you could start in a startup like that. So please don't choose what to do and what not to do. Learn it now. So that when it gets to that time, you won't look incompetent. But it's a product strategy. I've noticed that most times not all ideas from product owners make sense and are not so visible. Yes, I've even from product managers, my product lead sometimes give me some things and I feel like, oh, till date, if you ask him, who is the troublemaker in your product team, it's probably me because I'm always disagreeing with everything. Not always, so that I don't make myself look like a bad person. I often disagree with a lot of things that I don't understand where they are coming from. I'm asking myself, is it a customer asking for this? Because as a customer, I won't ask for it. But yeah, I mean, if you work with business people that like fancy stuff, it might not make sense to you because you're like, can build some, there are other things that are important. Why are you bringing this thing? For example, let's assume your app transfer is taking maybe 10 hours, 10 minutes, for example. Okay, yes, I work with a product, international transfer. We were using MTN mobile money to run the transfer. So we're using MTN to help us to do the transfer. So if you want to send money to Ghana, we'll send it through MTN and it will deliver. And as at then, it takes 3 days for the money to get to Ghana from Nigeria. But there was this competitor, I won't mention their name. Their one takes 1 day. Like 1 day. Our one takes 3 days. So a lot of customers are saying, we love your platform. Please let it be faster. And even that 3 days is not sure. Because until that 3 days, that's when you will know if it's successful or it failed. So for a customer who has transferred money, we are telling them pending. After 3 days, we tell them failed. That's a very, very bad UX. Now, that is something I was researching. I felt like we should be researching on how to solve. But the company was saying the onboarding, when somebody opens the app, we want it to be like Asset Bank, where you are seeing somebody working and it's beautiful. Guy, I don't want that. So yeah, you could have people like that their priorities are different. I understand it could be very stupid, but again, you have to understand that your stakeholders they are the one that employs you, not even your CEO. So if your stakeholder says this is good, you have to look into it. Ensure that the customer is also seeing that it's good, and ensure that in priority it is something that the customer needs at that particular time. As a product manager, what's the best response to turn down those ideas? What I used to say is yes, I'll put it in my roadmap, in my backlog. I told you backlog is like you will even see one of my mentors online or a role model, because me and him we don't talk, but I used to read his content on LinkedIn. He said, I remember I saw one write up where he said the backlog is the burial ground of ideas. So when people give me ideas, I just tell them, I'll add it to our backlog. Say, oh, that's a very nice idea. Wow, beautiful. Say, okay, so you want it to dance? Yeah. So the ball will jump. Yeah, it will jump. Yeah. You know, if it jumps, the customer, you even give them incentive. Tell them, oh, yeah. So if the customer, all right, no problem. I'll add it to our backlog. Then we'll think of a time to add it. At the moment, we have this, and that we feel like we should do. Don't you think so? Yes. When they will be the one telling you that when you finish that, please let's just think about this. And say, yes, I'll think about it. The same person, before you finish what you said you wanted to do, they will come in with another one that is more priority. So in most cases, that particular one they give you becomes irrelevant. So yeah, that's an approach I use. So don't ever tell them no instantly. No, don't do that, because it makes you have enemies in the company. Basically, they will tell you that guy doesn't listen. Yeah, that's my idea. How does the product roadmap differ from an OKR? How do I explain OKRs? Like I said, the product roadmap is an overview. It's the most big way you can represent an idea. Now, your OKRs are more specific. You notice that they are key performance. Your OKRs are used to measure if what you are building is actually a success or not. It's also used to measure the performance of your products. Whereas roadmap is used for you to know what to build. I don't know if that makes any sense. OKRs and KPIs are used to measure the performance of your system, either something you built or something you are building. Roadmap is a board where you write out things you want to do in advance. I don't know if that makes any sense. If that answers your question. If it doesn't, then when I'm done with the questions, we can start asking questions. I like this part. You can continue to. No, I cannot continue. Yes, based on the project. So all those things you listed are under market assessment. Interesting. Yes, they are market assessment and research. As much as possible, you need all the information before you dive into the product. There are some research I have made. Just to answer that question, there are some research I have made for people. Like I told you guys, I used to write PLDs before I started work. Before I got my first gig. I told you it took a whole year before I got my first gig. Now I used to write market research. I used to do market research, write PLDs for people. There are a lot of PLDs I wrote for people, and after reading it, they told me they are not going ahead with the product. Especially there was one company I wrote research for a loan app. When he came to me, he just told me, I feel like these loan people are making a lot of money and I want to make money from it. I have a lot of money in my bank that I'm not using. I want to start loaning out to people and all. And when I did the market research, the number of loan apps that have crumbled, why they crumbled, and all those things, I gave it to him and also gave him amazing features he could add to his own to fight it. Told him how much he needs to pay to the CBN to even get the license and all that. He just told me, bro, nah, I'm not doing it again. Whereas some product managers will just write your PRD, give you features and everything. Even though he said, no, I'm not doing it again, I still collected my money for that research. But I also saved him, he referred me to other jobs after that. I also saved him the need to actually spend unnecessarily. What he later did was to invest the money into an existing startup. I think he bought shares with MTN. I can't remember what he did with the money he had. So, but what I'm trying to say in essence is what other product managers might have done is they just write a PRD that include amazing features, user stories, acceptance criteria, and they start building, and after 3 years, the company crumbles, or after 2 years, the company crumbles, or even some, they won't even make it to launch because they can't afford the licenses. So yeah, that's one of your research as a product manager. And sometimes, even if you can't do research, delegate it. For example, knowing how much what's their name? Knowing how much the license will cost, you can delegate it to the business owner. Please make research on this. Make sure that you know how much you pay for this and that and that and that, so that we can so that I can add it to the requirements. Is that not what you are supposed to do? No. You will need to fill some forms. So because of that, sorry, you have to make it. If you don't want to make the research, there are ways you could make the research. If you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, you can always push the responsibility to the business owner. But that's by the way. Do you think with the emergence of AI, the job of a PM is downplayed? Sorry, hold on, give me a minute. Yes, nice. Do you think with the emergence of AI, the job of the PM is downplayed? With simple chat GPT, a PRD can be created and more detailed. Any thoughts on how to manage such? Yes. As a matter of fact, I use ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT a lot. Even before ChatGPT came, there was Loom. They call it Loom. Before ChatGPT became very popular, there were a lot of tools. Again, as a product manager, you have to be aware of what is going on. So I use a lot of tools to aid my research. However, what ChatGPT cannot do for you, and what you have to understand is AI requires prompts. It requires prompts. So whatever it is AI is going to do, they will still need somebody to ask the prompt. Yes, maybe they might slash the salaries in the future and say we'll spend it on AI, which I don't think will be possible in the first place. But to be able to come up with a PRD, let's do a practical approach together. Hey, Jesus Christ. Where is my glasses? Sorry, can you see my screen?
Yes.
I don't want you to see my chat history.
Yes.
All right. So let's say write a PRD, because that's how a layman will write it. I will not write this in this way, but that's how a layman will write. Write a PRD for a logistics app. Let's just do this. Logistic app version, user dashboard. Can you see that there's no research in it? Like there's basically no research. It's just your random. It has done the research for you and it's giving you the results. So you're having purpose, scope, the features directly, technical requirements, user story, blah, 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 wireframing, milestone, and boom, that's all. So if you look at this, this is very, very good. Or if I say include, generate the detail, info. Okay, still generating. Yes. Let's look at it together. You would realize that what it will be telling you will be very vague, like extremely vague. User registration with email or social accounts, secure user authentication, profile, still vague. You still need to pick up each one of them and rework them based on your system. So again, research is just one part of your work as the PRD. Documentation is also one part. Stakeholder management is also one part. AI will not come and manage your stakeholders for you. AI will not come and manage, get your customer feedback for you. All those things you still need to sit down with the data. I don't know if that makes any sense. So yeah, I don't believe, and that's why I'm still a product manager anyway. If I believe my work is running away, then definitely I would have probably started writing codes back. Although yes, I still write code once in a while. Yes, I am doing product marketing too as part of a consulting product management job. I tried avoiding, but probably because of my background in sales and marketing, most jobs I've gotten are product marketing related. Yet I really want to be a product manager to ideate, build, and develop. Do you think I can combine both? Yes. So this is also one of the main problems I had. If you check my profile on LinkedIn, you realize that there's nothing relating to the fact. If you see my profile, you won't know that I've written code ever in my life, or that I've done design ever in my life. I have to switch because every job, in fact, there was a job, I applied for a product manager job, and during the interview, they asked me to do design. It was so terrible. I got into the interview. After the interview, the guy said, "Oh, yeah, no. Then we'll give you an assessment very soon. We'll give you a task to do, and we'll move on." And all of a sudden, I was told to share my screen. Okay, to do what? I thought I was going to share a Miro flow to probably draw a flow diagram or something to depict and explain an idea that I have. Because yes, as product managers, you do that. There's always a pictorial view of what you are doing so that people can see what you're saying at a glance. There are flow charts and every other thing, but you need to learn that on your own as well. So I was there, and all of a sudden he asked me, "Do you have a Figma subscription?" I said no. But you can use the free version. Yes. I said okay. I opened my Figma and they were like, if you were to design sorry, I'm not a designer. I'm applying for a product manager job. And he said, yes, you have background in design. We just want to see how intuitive you are. I just have to turn it down because I was turned off. I just politely apologized and say, I'm sorry, I won't be able to take the job offer. So they trust me, I've been there. The other offer I got, in fact, somebody still sent me an email recently that there's an open role for a VA, an operations specialist, something. And basically, the reason why they sent it to me, it was a management role, but it wasn't product. It was more or less like stakeholder management. You are managing a specific team, just following up on them. Basically, Scrum, but not in the product space. So they told me they are getting across to me because they feel like I have background with virtual assistants. I've worked with virtual assistants in the past. I don't know where they got that information from. I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. I guess AI is helping them out to stop. But yes, you would. The answer to this is just that you would face that challenge. You will get to that point where your previous job role will always pop up in conversations. But you have to be, if it's what you really want to do, you have to keep on it. Then another way you could do it is you could pivot from an existing company. So I took a job. The job was they also reached out to me for product sales and marketing. And I told the guy, I'm sorry, I don't do product sales and marketing. They reached out because I was a product ambassador with Bata. And also, I started not really started because we didn't really finish it, an ambassadorship program with Wallet Africa when I was there. So they reached out to me because I was able to sell during those periods. And I told them, I'm not a salesperson. However, one thing I can do well is I can use any product. I can look at any product that I've never used in my life and look at it, give me a day with it, and I can teach anybody how to use it. And the man was like, wow. So I told him I can put him for the role of a product evangelist if he doesn't mind. And I was like, yeah, we need somebody like that. So when the sales team come, they bring the customer and say, this product, I do a demo for the customer sales. That's basically what I do for the company. So you can resell yourself, basically, even if you are giving such offer. Even if you are in a company, you can continuously tell the CEO, I can do this, I can do this, allow me to do this, allow me to do this. And before you know it, you are there, you are where you want to be. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Okay. So best response is to tell them till they forget. Yes, my brother or my sister, Evelyn. Yes, so product roadmaps can be more strategic, while OKRs are operational. More like it. But OKRs are always coming from the bottom, from the top. Most times, if you are not the one setting the OKRs. Yes, thank you. Wow, I didn't think this way amazing. All right, thank you. Is there any other question? Because is there another question? I would love to hear your question because this might be the last time we'll be seeing each other through the program. But if I'll be coming back, they will let me know. So is there any other question?
Yes, your LinkedIn profile.
Oh, okay. Just search. Okay, I'll drop it on the channel so that you guys can join. So that you can follow me. Then if there's any other question, you can always put it in the channel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Is Aisha on the call?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to tell them or call it today?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Leomi, for always showing up. It has been amazing. Even though I'm a product manager, just listening into your class has always been fun. Thank you very much, and we will definitely be seeing you again. But we'll discuss that. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the class.
All right. Bye.